What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Fly to the End, and welcome to a video that's a little out of the ordinary. No, this is not a playthrough. This is me talking straight to you about Borderlands 3. As you can see, there's some Borderlands 2 video playing of me running through the part after the bunker. There are spoilers if you haven't played the game, so just a heads up before you start watching. So I am a very, I like to think I'm a hardcore Borderlands fan, and there's some things going around. Borderlands 3 is in the making right now. It is being developed. It has been in development for 2 or 3 years now, I believe, and there's a lot of speculation going around the internet whether or not who's going to be the playable characters. Is there more than just 4 people you can play as, like, online wise? Are they going to bring certain things back from, like, Tales from the Borderlands or the pre-sequel, Borderlands 2, Borderlands 1? And I just wanted to do a video and join in on the Borderlands 3 hype train and say some things that I kind of want, say some things that I don't want. So, to start off with this is all going off the top of my head, so if I start rambling, I apologize. Um, but strictly, the characters that I want in this game have to be. I want new people, and the only exception I would have for bringing anyone back would probably be like Reese or Fiona from the pre-sequel. I'm not going to get into it just in case nobody's played it. That is definitely an experience someone needs to witness instead of being told, hey, this and this happens in Tales from the Borderlands. But I feel like one of those two, or possibly both of them, inside one character, I feel like that would be absolutely amazing. Like, say you pick Reese, like Reese and Fiona are up on the screen just like on the title screen of Tales from the Borderlands, but if you want to play as Fiona, then you can play as Fiona, or if you want to play as Reese, you can play as Reese. I think that would be a fantastic idea. Um, but other than that, I want new characters. They've had this weird thing going where, with like especially with the pre-sequel, which I understand why they did it, but they only really brought uh, one new character in, and that was Aurelia, who is Sir Hammerlock's sister, which I don't think they even mentioned her in Borderlands 2 ever. So that was kind of cool that they brought her in. But the rest of the characters, like Jack's body double, Claptrap, Wilhelm, Nisha, and Athena, and am I missing something? No, that's it. Uh, those were all people that we already knew. I mean, it was great to play as them, don't get me wrong, but I feel like we need new characters, just like Borderlands 2. We had no idea who these people were. They were just new characters that everybody fell in love with. My favorite character in the entire game is the Siren, and I'm playing as her in this gameplay. And I think if we have more characters like that, I mean, yes, of course, people want Tiny Tina. I wouldn't mind playing as Tiny Tina, but personally, I think having brand new characters would just be a whole lot better. Um, some other things that I wanted were, you know, I'm not I'm not huge on raid bosses. I love doing it. I love farming things in this game. It feels great to like just have that grind whenever you finally get it. Because I hate whenever people hop in my games because I like to play online. I like to have people join in because this game is just, I feel like it's more fun whenever you play uh, multiplayer with like friends, with random people, but whenever people join in my games and they drop me stuff, I hate that. Personally, I can't stand it, and I don't like to be a dick to people, and like I don't pick it up um unless I'm playing like a fuck around character like Gage or something, the character that I just glitch to hell and I'll just play through the game. But like this Siren playthrough, I got all this loot by myself. Like I went out, farmed it all. Um, so it took a little bit, but it was worth it. I got that feeling of like, hey, I did all this. I earned this. So Um, so if they add raid bosses in the game, I'd want there to be more. You know, because like how many raid bosses were in Borderlands 2? What you got? Vermivorous, Crawmerax. You got was the warrior. That's not a raid boss. You know, practically all the bosses that were like huge. You know, like Terramorphous. There you go. That's a raid boss. Bosses like that. Um, if they added more of those, then I would want them to incentivize it. You know, like the weird thing about farming Terramorphous was that he didn't really have anything worthwhile getting, because if you beat him once, then you already had his class mod, which was only good on a select few of characters and a select few builds. I think some characters like the Siren, you'd have to have that fire build that not everyone likes. I mean, me personally, I'm in love with the Sandhawk style. I enjoy it. For some odd reason, whenever I play as a Siren, I just jive more to using SMGs. And I feel like if they make more raid bosses, they should at least add more gear that would incentivize, you know, hey, this raid boss is crazy fucking hard, but he gives you like the best gun in the game. I mean, just think about it. What if Terramorphous had dropped the Unkempt Herald, or someone? Well, I guess Hyperius already dropped the Norfleet, but you know, you get people like Master Yi. Let him drop, say, what's another overpowered gun in this game? Let them drop the grog nozzle. I know that'd be a little fucking weird, but let them drop gear that would be that like maybe like storyline wise you can only get once. But if you're able to farm someone to get like a really badass version of it, that would incentivize people to genuinely want to like the lesser non-hardcore people that don't like farming raid bosses, you know, they'd be like, hey, this he has a cool weapon that I'd like to use. Um, some other things that I'd like were, uh, I've whenever I played the pre-sequel, all right, I I overhyped myself to a degree where I was excited to finally get another Borderlands game, because my first Borderlands game was number one. I just don't remember it very much because I was a lot younger then. So I did beat it. I remember fighting the last boss, and I never did the DLC because I wasn't a big DLC person whenever I was younger. So I did beat that, but I don't remember it as an experience that much. Like I don't have like a nostalgic point of view to it aside from like the beginning of the game. That is like lodged in my memory. So whenever I saw like the Borderlands 2 thing where you know you go back to it, spoilers, my bad, I didn't really think about say it whenever I said that. Um, that was an exciting moment. So what I was getting to on that, because I've rambled, was that I would like to see an atmosphere or the feeling, you know, if you don't know what atmosphere means, like that feeling of a mixture of like a Borderlands 2, Borderlands 1. You know, like I think Randy Pitchford like literally said that he understood to a fan on Twitter. Um, Someone said like he loved the atmosphere of Borderlands 2, but he liked the humor of 1 better, which is something I personally think, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, because Borderlands 2, it was funny and it had a lot of funny moments, but there was times where it was just like it was too wacky. You know, it took me out of the game a lot. And whenever I played the pre-sequel, man, I'm I'm a little immature, but those like the jokes in that just they really fell flat half the time. It felt like every 5 seconds there was just another joke, you know, like the over the top Australian accents, the weird like poop jokes everywhere. There's literally like a butt slam thing that makes you fart. It was funny, But the more you play it, the more you're like, hey, I'm gonna do another playthrough of this, and you just keep playing it. It's just like, ah, man. Um, but like whenever I've been, cause I just recently got like really back into the feeling of Borderlands 2. Um, I've just been enjoying the the serious tone that this game has and the humor. Like it feels a little bit more, hey, we're gonna, this moment needs to be serious, so we're gonna make it serious. This moment feels right to be a little funny. That kind of stuff. And I've been talking too much about what I like about the game instead of Borderlands 3. But what I don't want in Borderlands 3 is what incentivized me to go and make this video was that I was watching a Violent Puma game, or a gaming video, where he was talking about he wants to see the grinder back. He wants to see weapon modifications and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't know. As a Borderlands fan, I I hated the grinder. I didn't like putting weapons into something to get the better weapons. I liked the grind of getting a weapon, even though there wasn't really farming in that game, and I think that's why they put the uh, the grinder in the game, to be honest. But even though they did fix it, I still feel like it would have made more sense to not have the grinder in there and just to have let us farm. Because I don't know, I was never huge on the grinder, even whenever I saw the trailers and stuff where they announced the grinder. I seriously wasn't behind it. I couldn't see myself using it, and I never used it, except probably like once or twice whenever I had to do the missions and all that. I never used it because I didn't see a point in giving myself that advantage. I enjoyed just having to grind for new weapons. That's the whole point of a Borderlands game is, hey, you get more badass weapons. Why would I want to make a more badass weapon whenever I could go out and use my current badass weapons to earn that badass weapon? You feel? So, and some other things that I don't want. I like the idea of having 6-player co-op, 8-player co-op, but whenever it gets to that point, it feels a little overpushed. Maybe that's just me. I feel like it's just a little too much whenever you get into like 8-player co-op. Like, I understand people want to play with probably more friends, but I can hardly ever get 4 players playing right now. I mean, of course, whenever the game launches, there'll probably be 8 people playing, enough to fill up a whole lobby to do all that. But I mean, think about it. If you play 4-player co-op, like at least what I've witnessed for the past couple of days, whenever I played 4-player co-op, everyone went down constantly because the enemies get harder the more people you have in to like even the odds. And I feel like if you add 6 people or 8 people, it's just an insane amount of stress on the game. But even though, I mean, I say that, but the game, I think the developers did say that they're doing it strictly on new gen. So if that's the case, then possibly I'd be okay with that. I just, you know, as it stands, I don't think that that would be a good thing. Even though I'm sure people would love it. I'm sure people would take that and run with it and be extremely happy about that. But I feel like if you start adding more and more characters into the game, it's gonna devalue that like feeling like, hey, we're 4 band of vault hunters. That's been the thing. That's been the thing all the way back in Borderlands 1. And I don't think, me personally, I don't think I could play with 6 people. I feel like that's too much for me at one time. So I've been rambling on a lot. So if you have any ideas personally about the game, uh, here, I'll throw in one more thing. I do want new elements. I want the cryo back and the lasers back, and that'll be great. But if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and do subscribe. Leave down in the comment section what you want in Borderlands 3, and I'll see you guys later.